and this is how I set my journal up every single morning. I write 3 things that I'm grateful for and 2 goals that I have today, and then write a little bit down here. So that's pretty much it. And now, since I am starting to focus more on my psychology and time away from actually trading itself, spending less time on the charts, I'm filling up my time with more productive things. So right now, spend about an hour every single morning working on different things when it comes to biohacking. And I'm about to make a huge Notion template for y'all boys for the whole community in the Discord. So it's about to be fire, completely free. Yo, what is good, boys? Right now it is the 26th of December. It has been about a month since I've posted. I've been going on a monk mode for a little bit, really just trying to figure out myself again, in the midst of day trading and everything else, right? And, I made a video prior to this. I should post the other video before this one. And it's talking more about, like the more in-depth reasoning why I went to monk mode for a month. And what I got out of it, and I really broke it down. So if you want to watch that, that'll be the prior video most likely. But this video, I'll be talking specifically about, when you hear the saying of people saying, of traders, specifically gurus and all that, they say, the less time you trade, the less time you're on the charts, the better. Okay, I've always understood that, right? I've always understood that quote because they always say that, right? But I did have a bit of a confusion with what they exactly meant by that, right? Like, because the majority of the time I was thinking, okay, the less time I'm on the charts, the less time I trade, the better. Okay, so that means, okay, I can be on the charts as much as I want to. I can spend a bunch of time back testing and doing all this and doing all that, but I can take minimal trade still. Okay, so yes, that kind of saying is still in play for me, and that's what I was doing, right? Before monk mode, I thought my hours on the chart was the problem, right? I would spend 5, 6, 7 hours a day on the charts, and I still couldn't figure out why I was, still kind of in a rut, right? And psychologically, as well as I felt like it was trading as well, and I think a lot of it came from overcomplication, overanalyzing, and overthinking way too much, and just not enjoying the process anymore. And that came from me over time bumping it up even more. Okay, I already knew my model. Okay, I knew exactly what I was looking for each and every single day, but I would still get in my head, right? I would still get in my head about a loss. I would think about way too much about the money. Okay, and I believe that came with me spending 7-8 hours a day on the charts. Okay, it was so unnecessary. I was doing 3 to 4 hours a day of deep study. Okay, that's separate from actually watching the live charts. Okay, 3 or 4 hours a day of Pomodoro, which is what I did, and it's just I turn on a 1 hour timer, and then I would cut off all distractions, and I would just turn on some like light music, like classical music, and just work. Okay, I've always done that. I will continue using Pomodoro because I believe it's a great tool, but I would just bump it up every time, even more. Okay, 3, 4 hours a day, just slowly, escalating the time that I do this deep study. And I found, through this Pomodoro, that I can lock in as much as I want to, but I'm at the point right now in my trading where I really understand that saying, right? And there's a guy that commented on one of my videos, and I appreciate you, bro, if you're watching this. And he really broke it down for me. Like he just said, you're at the level right now where pretty much the less time you're on the charts, the better. Okay, and he commented on the video before I left where I said I'm taking a break, and I really thought about that for a while, about halfway through my halfway through my monk mode, because at the beginning of my monk mode, I was specifically focusing on trading. That's when I bumped it up again to 4 or 5 hours of Pomodoro a day, right? So I was literally nonstop on the charts the entire day. And that would lead me to getting no sleep because I have a bunch of other things throughout the day that I do. And then I figured out, I was like, okay, me thinking way too much about the money, not focusing on the habits anymore that I'm building. Okay, right? I've built a lot of good habits through my trading. Okay, but I'm kind of unconsciously thinking about money, if that makes any sense. Right? So, you know, I don't overtrade because of my habit of thinking about money. I don't do this, I don't do that. But, you know, it just built the thought of, you know, negativity when I lost a trade, when I lost money. I was looking for trades only for the money. Yes, they would still be solid setups, I would say, but I would still be looking out for trades for the money. I would be scouting for opportunity. I would be hunting for opportunity every single day. Right? I would be expecting the markets to give me an A plus setup every single day. And that's not how the market works. It's not. Right? So I just completely cut that mentality out, and I really thought, okay, because I've been grinding. I've been putting in 7-8 hours a day consistently for the past year. Okay, for the past 12, I would say 10 or 11 months. Because the first month or so, I really didn't try that hard on trading. It was just, I thought it was just, you know, some funny business, right? I'm not even joking. The past 10 or 11 months, I have spent 5 to 8 hours a day, right, trading. Okay, and you know, I've known my model. I know this is my model. I know that it works, and I've been at this point where I'm at right now for the past, you know, 3 months, 4 months. And what I decided was, oh, I need to put even more time in, right? Because you know, I'm not at the level I am. I need to put even more time in, but that's created bad habits for me. I know my model, and I've put in so much time that I know, you know, the in and outs of my model. Okay, so I don't need to be spending 7-8 hours a day, because again, that's creating that over analyzer in my head, because I'm constantly thinking about trading. So what I did was, halfway through my, you know, monk mode, this December, I was like, okay, you know what, I pray to God. You know, y'all might not believe or whatever, but I pray to God, because I was really struggling. You really just couldn't figure out why I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I couldn't find any fulfillment in grinding every single day like I used to, right? And I was really forcing myself just off of pure discipline to work. I would enjoy live trading. I've always enjoyed live trading. But when it comes to studying and back testing, I would just absolutely despise hopping on for 4 hours a day and just doing 4 hours, you know, pretty much straight, right? You know, after my AM and PM session trading. And, you know, I was like, please help me out, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And then about 10 or 15 minutes later, just praying and thinking, I had a thought come to my head, like, okay, why don't I just try to focus more on my mental, my psychology, right? So I switched it up completely, right? I went from being an absolute chart fiend to now spending about 5 hours a day on the charts, 5 to 6 hours a day. And that's a huge, for me, that's a huge drastic change, right? And, you know, again, I'm trying to preach this to y'all. If y'all are at the beginning stages and you think you know your model, you know you're on a little winning streak, that's different, okay? You need to be on the charts, right? You need to be spending a lot of time on the charts. You need to literally know like this shit, okay? That's for beginner traders. That's what everyone needs to do. If you have the time, if you're a little kid, if you're in high school or whatever, and you have time, you need to be doing that, okay? Because you have limited time, okay? And I 100% believe, and I'm 100% glad that I did that, you know, my first year. But you get to a certain point where you really realize, I'm reading the market the same exact way every single day, and then back testing becomes so boring. Like, your eyes are literally bleeding from doing these. Dude, I can't tell you how many data sets of just back tests that I've collected in the past 3 or 4 months. Like over 1,500, over 2,000 at least. It's absolutely nuts. Because again, I would spend 4 hours a day, Pomodoro only back testing, only looking through my notes. Okay, that's completely separate than my, you know, live trading, and you know, that's insane. Okay, but you get to that level and you realize, okay, there's no amount of back testing. I'm really marking out the same exact thing every single time. Me doing 100, me doing 300, me doing 500 more is not going to really improve me at all. Okay, so you realize the time that you're wasting. Okay, that takes time. Okay, And that's after, I would say, 8 to 10 months of really, 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 really hard work. Okay, for me, it was literally a year until I realized this. I realized this 2 weeks ago. And I believe this is the perfect time. And the answer kind of came to me from God, I believe. And he said, take some time off, right? Really focus on your psychology, focus on your mental, okay? And again, kind of like what other people say, spend less time on the charts. You get to the level you need to spend less time on the charts. And that's what I did, right? I wrote out an entire schedule. I talked about it in my prior video, my prior video. And pretty much I wake up in the morning, do an hour of Pomodoro, right? So now instead of doing 4 hours of Pomodoro or 5 hours of Pomodoro a day, I do 2. I do 1 in the morning first thing to get my mind, ready for the day, right? I do my non-negotiables, kind of like some of the things I've showed you in this video. And then I do my hour of Pomodoro shortly after, about 5 o'clock. And then, trade throughout the day, do my AM and PM session trading. And that's a collective of maybe 4 hours total, or 3 hours, and it depends on the price action. And then later that night, before I go to bed, maybe about 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, because I don't like being on screens way too much before I go to bed, 8 o'clock, 6 to 7-ish, I do another hour of Pomodoro, right? So 2 hours a day of Pomodoro, and then throughout the day, I have, 2 meditation sessions. I have a lot of time to pray. I spend a lot of time praying. I have 2 books I'm reading right now, the Bible, always. I read 1 page a day, as well as reading software, talking about, like the power projections, the power projection strategies of Bitcoin. So doing that is great. And eating a lot healthier, trying to eat a lot healthier with being home. It's really hard to eat healthy up there in or up at my college, just because I have to eat off of their cafeteria food because my parents aren't willing to spend an insane amount of money for me to go out and get food every single week. And I 100% understand that money's coming from my old stash of money that my parents have made me stack up throughout the years from my Christmas, money to birthday money and all that stuff. So can't spend a lot of money with that. So I kind of have to eat shit food. So that, so I'm eating a lot healthier, feeling so much better, getting better sleep, focusing on getting 8 hours of sleep. And I can't, because before I was averaging 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep a night. And I felt like garbage. Literally felt like garbage, struggled to keep my eyes open throughout the day, every single day. I did that for pretty much 3 or 4 months, ever since I've gone to school. And it was pretty bad. So focusing more on my sleep now as well. And then spending about 2 hours a day building stuff for the Discord, for the community, my Notion templates, stuff like that, free stuff, just education and learning more about crypto, learning more about, my body, learning more about biohacking, stuff like that. It's really interesting to me. And I want to be able to maximize, my potential and in my life. So, yeah, doing all this stuff, it's completely changed my life in the past 3 weeks, right? And again, spending a lot, or 2 weeks, spending a lot less time on the charts, I believe was a big part of it. Because, again, my mind is not 24/7 racing on trading. I can actually go outside, and I can go outside and walk, and I do every single day. But I mean, just a cumulative of all these things and just spending less time on the charts and focusing on other areas of my life to where I'm not 24/7 analyzing the charts, it kind of helps me back away from, rushing the process. Because I think I got to a point where I was just rushing the process. I wasn't focusing really on the habits. I was focusing on the money because I'm trying to, start making a living from this before I graduate college. And I just don't want to get a job. So that's on my mind. That was on my mind 24/7 because I was constantly trading, and there was, a reason to that, where I'm not trying to work for the rest of my life. I'm trying to provide for my family, and the quicker the better, right? So that's the way I thought. So now it's completely changed. Just through implementing these different things in my life, these actual productive things that are improving, the way I think, improve my knowledge in trading, as well as just other areas in life that are impactful to my living, right? And it has completely changed everything. Just taking time away from the charts, right? 4 or 5 hours a day, right? I'm still putting in that work. I mean, a lot of people would say that's crazy. 4 or 5 hours is not a lot for me, but you know, I do that, and I really don't have much time throughout the day where I just sit and do nothing, right? I'm always doing something when it comes to thinking, right? I spend about 10 minutes just sitting here in my bed, just thinking, right? And a lot of you may need to try this if you're a big overthinker. And a lot of this came from not overtrading, but just overanalyzing on the charts. I would realize that I would be like in the middle of a trade, or not even in a trade, and I would just be looking at every single possible scenario. Like, just weird, like way over analysis. Like, it's just weird. I'm like, bro, the market doesn't care about a fair value gap. Okay, it's a simple strategy that I have, and I'm looking for that, and maybe a few other things. Other than that, the market's not going to move because of this. Like, it doesn't matter. Okay, and again, you know, just over trading and being on the markets way too much. That's what the result of that was, and just quickly realized that was just not the way. And hopefully, you know, y'all understand this. If y'all are at this level, I hope you're able to create an actual productive schedule where you're not spending so much time on the charts, and you know, be able to kind of implement some of the things I've been talking about in this video, because it truly has changed my life in the past 2 weeks, right? I'm actually enjoying the process. I actually somewhat enjoy studying now, you know, and obviously, like, right now I'm not enjoying live trading the best, just because, you know, that December price action sucks, but, and I'm just living, I'm living more in the present now. I'm not looking too much in the future anymore. I'm not really focused too much on making money, as hard as to really think of that way, or, you know, for me to say that. I just try not to focus on the money anymore. Even in my journal, right, I'll talk a little bit, like, I'll write shit down. I don't know if you can see this, but, like, I'll, like, tell myself, like, in specific ways, like, I don't, you know, I try not to predict the market anymore, right? In my journal, I'll be like, okay, I'm expecting price to go to this and this, because then that would have you know, a mood change for me. That would have an impact on my mood, right? I realized. So I just stopped predicting the market. I just observe and just watch the market for how it is and go from there, right? As well as, you know, I just try not to take many paper trades. I try not to really do much other than when I'm actually trying to enter into a trade, right? I'm analyzing, and don't really form a hard bias. I'm always open to things now. And again, that's came with me just backing away, going from 8 hours a day on the charts to now 5. As little as of a change as that sounds, it's changed everything. It's completely changed everything in the way that I view the markets, and the way that I view my journey. And I know that, you know, God has given this, you know, plan for me, this vision for me, and that, you know, things are going to start to change for the better. All right, and soon enough, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and it's soon enough going to start playing out, right? I just got to be patient, and I got to be okay with the thought of, okay, you know, worst comes to worst, I'll graduate college a year and a half from now, and I'll go get a job while I trade, right? You know, worst comes to worst, I have a marketing degree, bro. I have a marketing degree, and I can just work online. I can work online from home. I can get a job in a company online while I trade. I can have a fine schedule to where as long as I get my work done by this specific time, who cares? I can trade during the AM session, during the PM session. It's not a big deal, right? So I've realized that. It doesn't really have to be a corporate job that I gotta work. I know I'm not, right? I have a whole year and a half. I'm doing pretty good now. But I'll be 2.5 years into the journey. If I continue the way that I'm you know, progressing right now, who knows where I'm gonna be. So yeah, boys, I hope y'all, you know, found something helpful from this video. It's kind of everywhere, trying to get back into the you know, the rundown of things on my YouTube channel and these YouTube videos, since it's been about a month. So I hope y'all are able to get something from this video, you know, some of the key points. And yeah, if y'all want to join the Discord, the community, it'll be all be left down in the description, as well as if you want to check out my Notion template that I've made and I posted, it'll be down in the description as well. It has everything that you need as a trader when it comes to a journal, when it comes to education for ICT strategies, as well as psychology lessons. And it comes with like a daily planner, it comes with a workout planner, it comes with a bunch of shit, right? A bunch of cool stuff. So if you want to check that, that'll be down in the description as well. And if you want to join the community, we'll be glad to have your boys there. Peace out.